world title in everyone's imagination. That's the heavyweight champ. You were here. Everyone else was here. But since then, the feeling has been Joshua makes all this money fighting anyway, 30 million pounds, whatever it is. Why should he take 40 or 50 to fight Wilder when he's making against anybody? He can make 30, 40 million pounds, whatever it is.
No fantasy contract, just reality. You know, bringing our worth to the table and bargaining and negotiating what we're worth and making this fight happen.
Which mentality do you come in with? I ask because when you were slick, to me that looked like a better fighter. But maybe this is the kind of fight where you just need to impose your strength.
Anthony Joshua's calm confidence took center stage as he sat down with Max Kellerman. Ahead of the highly anticipated Jake Paul showdown, a clash that has energized both boxing purists and crossover fans. In the interview, Joshua didn't just discuss strategy. He opened up about pressure, legacy, and the spectacle surrounding this unlikely matchup. With Kellerman pushing for deeper insight, Joshua addressed the critics, the stakes, and the surprising motivations behind
world or a heavyweight champion. You're an undefeated Olympic super heavyweight gold medalist. You're entering your physical prime, and you put 100,000 people in Wembley. So I get your argument. I have the economic clout. He's not coming in as partners. I should get a bigger slice of the pie. Let's have a realistic negotiation.
To Kellerman, known for blending sharp technical analysis with his trademark, skepticism immediately dug into the larger narrative surrounding the event. He stated bluntly that this is one of the strangest matchups in heavyweight boxing history. Joshua is a former world champion. Jake Paul is an internet entertainer turned fighter. So, why is this fight happening? It's a question millions of fans have asked since the announcement, and Joshua's answer set the tone for the entire conversation.
You beat a guy like that, you're not gonna outbox him. If you're waiting on him and he's initiating and he's feinting you into counters and then he's countering.
When Kellerman asked what Joshua respects most about Jake Paul, Age responded calmly but meaningfully. He's bringing new eyes to boxing. Joshua acknowledged that Paul, despite having no amateur background and an unconventional start, has thrown himself into the deep end. He's taking real risks and putting himself under extreme pressure. Joshua said Paul's enthusiasm and willingness to challenge himself at the highest level helps shine a bigger spotlight on boxing, pushing the sport into new markets and broader audiences.
Jake Paul, does he remind you of any guy that you fought before? Or is this a unique situation that you've never come across?
Very unique situation I've never come across, but treating with the same respect that I give all my competition.
So you got the mental fortitude, he's got the mental fortitude. But what's the one best thing that you pride Jake Paul of having that maybe you haven't seen in other competition you face so far?
From a physical aspect, I couldn't even mention it at the minute. But from a mental aspect, he offered me the fight. Normally, I'm offering people fights. He's told me, come and fight. So he believes in himself.
What does the word legacy mean to you, AJ?
Legacy, what does it mean? This is why I was actually asking someone, what does legacy mean? I don't even know.
The size difference between the two has become one of the fight's biggest talking points, and for good reason. While Jake Paul has always been strong and solid in his weight classes, standing next to Anthony Joshua creates a genuine David versus Goliath visual. Joshua doesn't just tower over Paul. His frame reflects years of elite-level heavyweight conditioning. The contrast is striking. Even with added muscle, Paul can't match the natural size, reach, or physical presence of someone who has spent his entire career fighting full-sized heavyweight.
Jake Paul versus AJ, as though Jake Paul is the bigger in this equation. Not for me. Maybe for MVP, Nikisa, Jake Paul, but not for me. I've kind of marked it or titled it David versus Goliath just because of the size difference. Like, Jake Paul's a big guy. He is. He's 6'1", 220, probably fights around, the 200-pound mark. AJ is an enormous guy. Like, he's a big unit. And I think Jake realized that when they came face to face. I don't know if that was the first time they've ever come that close. I'm sure they've met behind the scenes, but I think there was a realization from Jake Paul, like, fuck, this is a big dude. It's a very big dude who isn't coming to play. Like, there was no play with AJ. That was a press conference that almost sounded like AJ versus someone in the top 10, where AJ's taking it seriously. He's answering the questions direct that Ariel's throwing him. There was no, yeah, we're here to kind of fuck around. This is gonna be easy. Give me my money. Let me run back to the UK. This was AJ's like, no, we're taking this seriously. And that ain't a good thing for Jake Paul. It isn't. And AJ's that guy anyway. Like, I would never doubt that AJ would take this seriously. But for Jake Paul, I do wonder if realization is kicking in, or maybe he is just that delusional where he doesn't care. I do. And I've been sort of corrected by a few people who maybe know better, but I do think the Americans don't credit or rate AJ. I do think there's a bit of that. I remember when AJ did the rounds prior to the Ruiz fight, and there were a few people like, yeah, you're not that good.
Nikisa Bydarian, CEO of Most Valuable Promotions, told Sky Sports that the December 19th fight is being built as a global-level spectacle. He noted that while Joshua's experience is unquestionably superior, Paul's delusional confidence could be the unpredictable factor that makes this matchup compelling. Bydarian also revealed that the fight was accelerated. The original plan was a 2026 meeting, but Jake pushed to fast-track the bout immediately, forcing negotiations to move quickly to lock the fight in for this year.
Will there be a limit for Joshua?
So there's a lot of discussion around the weight. Joshua fought Usyk twice. Both of those times, Usyk was 221 pounds. Joshua was 240 to 245. When Jake fought Mike Tyson last year, 227 pounds. I expect Jake will come in anywhere between 225 and 230, and Anthony Joshua has a weight limit of 245 pounds.
There will be those, as you're aware, that will look at it and criticise this fight. There already have been, haven't there? They'll say it's a real mismatch. What would you say to them? Are we going to be watching sport at its purest?
I would say it's much less of a mismatch than what you saw with AJ and Francis Ngannou, who a massive man, but relatively no boxing experience. I would say it's much less of a mismatch than AJ's 9th or 10th fight against guys who've been knocked out 20 to 25 times. Given AJ's pedigree, Jake is built for this. Jake is built for the big moments. So do I think it's dangerous for Jake Paul? Absolutely. Do I think it's also dangerous for Anthony?
Alexander Usyk has made his stance clear. When it comes to Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul, he sees the contest as extremely one-sided. Usyk compared Joshua to a Rolls-Royce and Paul to a Fiat, highlighting the massive gap in pedigree, skill, and physical readiness. He believes Paul is stepping into serious danger because their levels are simply incomparable. To Usyk, it's not about fame or hype. It's fundamentals, experience, and years of heavyweight conditioning that separate the two.
Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion. First. Jake Paul is, sportsman, YouTuber, showman. Rolls-Royce. Yeah. Listen, it's true. I'm not
Oh my god. I'm have massive better mind.
Yeah. It's just true. It's business, more money. Only this.
So we need to pray for Jake Paul.
Yes. I will pray Jake Paul because I want to fight with Jake Paul in Octagon.
Yeah.
Do you think that Joshua should be fighting Tyson Fury next year?
I want this fight. Yes, I fan.